Gang! Let's go! This is your host with the most, the Warhammer. I am back to talk about the life and the tragic death of future Son Gohan, the son and ultimate prodigy of future Goku, the man, the legend, who bested Piccolo in the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai and defeated Frieza on Namek, destroyed and killed Mecha Frieza and King Cold a year and a half later, only to die of the heart virus, just before the artificial humans began their rampage across the entire world. Now, there is another Gohan who dies, but we never see his death, and that, of course, is Grandpa Gohan. And Grandpa Gohan is referenced a lot throughout the series, but he dies before Dragon Ball even happens. However, he does come back in the Uronai Baba arc, and he is the fifth fighter that Goku fights. So we do get an opportunity to see who Grandpa Gohan is, even though he's already moved to the afterlife. Now, in the case of future Gohan, we have a character that is scarred, that is morally, brutally affringed or affronted. This is a very interesting but strikingly dark character and a side of Gohan that we never see at any other time except in this scenario. The closest is perhaps Teen Gohan becoming a Super Saiyan 2 at the Cell games. And maybe we see some of it in the Majin Buu arc and the Tournament of Power. But future Gohan is a tough guy. He is a hard man! A forge man! But seriously, future Gohan is striving to continue the legacy of his father and everything that his father represented as he fights Androids 17 and 18 through various battles. Over time, he gets scars and stuff, and then he loses one of his arms. Now, Toriyama, during the time that he was writing the manga, he drew a special chapter of future Gohan and future Trunks fighting androids, the future androids, future 17 and future 18. And future Gohan was a tough boy. Like, he was a hard, tough man. But the manga chapter really fails, to actually demonstrate the death of future Gohan at the hands of the androids. But I think the manga, it does better to illustrate how future Trunks takes up the mantle of future Gohan. So future Gohan dies in battle with future 17 and future 18. Trunks takes up the mantle of destroying the androids by any means, even using a time capsule to go back in the past, which he does 3 years after the death of future Gohan. In the anime, as I've already said, future Gohan loses his arm. He fights a desperate battle using everything he has as a Super Saiyan. Now, I never really understood why future Gohan could not awaken his innate potential. I mean, in the present timeline, Gohan, he did it with Raditz. He did it sort of with Raccoon. He definitely unleashed some of his power against his hidden power against Frieza and the Ginyu Force. He definitely awakened his full dormant potential against Cell, and then he almost did it with Majin Buu, but he fell short. You know, but if present DBZ Gohan could do this, why couldn't future Gohan not find a way to unlock his innate potential? Because, in the Demon King Piccolo arc, Goku drank the super ultra divine god water, and that allowed him to defeat Demon King Piccolo. So why couldn't Gohan do something like that? Or why not just go to New Namek and use the Dragon Balls to, power himself up, awaken all of his dormant potential, or whatever, I always found that to be strange. But anyways, Gohan fights a pretty desperate stand, has a Super Saiyan, a thunderstorm happens, 17 and 18 fire countless ki blasts down on Gohan, and he dies. He's dead. Now, future Gohan is never brought back to life because, the Earth Dragon Balls are gone, and he stays dead. But future Trunks takes up the mantle of future Gohan, and he fights and struggles against the androids for 3 years before he travels back in time with the time capsule. And then, he's in the past fighting the androids and fighting Cell. He comes back and destroys the androids and Cell, and then he fights and struggles for many years, training with the Supreme Kaioshin to fight Pui Pui, Yakan, and Demon King Dabra, and then for many years he's fighting Goku Black. So I think that just demonstrates the tenacity of future Trunks. He got that from future Gohan. Gohan struggled for 14 years with 17 and 18. You have to realize that by the time all of this stuff is taking place in the future Trunks special, the equivalent of that time span is like the end of the 10-year period after the Majin Buu arc. That is like how many years that future Gohan is training and struggling. He becomes a Super Saiyan. He gets stronger, he trains, but ultimately he falls short of his goal. But in spite of that, he gives inspiration. Now, future Gohan does come back in Super Dragon Ball Heroes, has an anti-hero. He's appeared in Heroes and in video games of different types, doing various stuff. In Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 2, there's actually an attempt by Toa to prevent Gohan from dying so he won't be an inspiration for Trunks. Ultimately, the future warrior helps out, but Gohan decides that in order to inspire Trunks to go back into the past, he has to die in combat. So it's kind of as if his death is just an inevitability. Regardless, his soul goes to the afterlife, but infinite merged Zamasu destroys the afterlife and kills the dead future Gohan. Or he is erased from existence by future Zeno when he destroys the entire multiverse. So that is the tragic death of future Gohan. Deontay24, you're a joke. Blocked. I have no idea who you are, sir. I'm going to presume that you're probably Lizard on Ice from Discord or whatever. I did not kick you out of my Discord. It was probably grossly offensive or some other mod that did it. I did not kick you out of my